Welcome to the podcast Crime in a Suit. How is it possible that companies can manipulate public contracts without anyone noticing? Today, we'll take a look at bid rigging, secret agreements that drive up prices, lower quality, and harm us all. How do they work? Why are they so dangerous, and how can they be uncovered? Listen to the full episode to find out more. Imagine a system so sophisticated that it can rob taxpayers of billions of crowns, yet at first glance, it looks completely legal. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of bid rigging.
That sounds like something that should be on the front page of the newspapers. What exactly does that term mean?
It's a sophisticated way of manipulating public contracts with the goal of influencing the outcome of the bidding process. The essence of these agreements is that competitors, who are otherwise expected to compete against each other, secretly coordinate their actions in the procurement process, which leads to higher prices or lower quality goods or services for buyers.
So that means even when we think we're getting the best deal, we're actually being duped.
Exactly. The winning bid can easily be 30% higher than the real value, but because the other bids are even higher, it looks like the best choice. Bid rigging is also often linked to other offenses, especially corruption. It's usually well and long-term organized, and on the outside, it can look like fair competition.
So basically, they operate like organized crime in suits and ties.
You could say that. And what's fascinating is that they use sophisticated rotation systems. The essence of this agreement is a commitment that the participating competitors will take turns submitting the winning bid. It's also common for the participants to divide up individual clients or territories among themselves. These strategies can also be combined with each other and may be supplemented with various forms of compensation and control mechanisms. The size of the participating competitors is also a crucial factor. For example, a larger supplier might have the right to more contracts or to contracts of a larger scale within the bid rigging agreement system. A key prerequisite for the successful implementation of this form of bid rigging is the regular awarding of public contracts of the same or similar type within a given sector. In the case of a one-off public contract, rotating bids would therefore be problematic or might not be feasible at all.
And how do the companies that intentionally lose actually get compensated?
This is where things start to get really interesting. They use several methods, most commonly subcontracting, but sometimes the contract is even resold. Imagine that the contract is overpriced by 30%. The first company takes 10%, sells it to the second, which takes another 10%, and so on. Even the fourth company in line can still make a profit.
That sounds incredibly complicated to coordinate. How come it's so hard to uncover?
You know what's paradoxical? The more complicated the system is, the more vulnerable it actually becomes. It's like trying to keep a secret in a group of 30 people. Sooner or later, someone will talk. With the number of meetings, contacts, and rules being enforced, the likelihood that the cartel, or at least part of it, will be exposed increases proportionally.
What are the signs that something like this is happening?
There are certain patterns. Companies that regularly participate but never win. Sudden withdrawals from tenders, or situations where the winner steps down and the contract goes to the runner-up at a much higher price. It's like putting together a puzzle. Individual pieces might look innocent, but when you put them together, you see the whole picture.
That must have a huge impact on the economy.
Exactly. It's not just about direct financial losses, which can reach into the billions. It's about disrupting the entire competitive environment. It's like a virus in the system. It gradually infects the entire industry and creates a culture where fraud becomes the norm. Detecting and preventing such practices is in the interest of every public contracting authority because it saves public funds. The money saved can then be used for other or higher quality public services.
So actually, their biggest enemy is their own complexity.
Yes, the more they try to perfect the system, the more traces they leave behind.
What is the future of the fight against such practices?
I think the key is for competition authorities to keep improving their ability to detect such practices using various tools, as well as prevention, for example by educating public procurers. The more people understand how these systems work, the harder it will be to keep them running. Bid rigging isn't just an expensive system error. It's a calculated fraud that harms the entire economy, but no trick is perfect. The better we understand it, the easier it is to uncover. Thank you for listening to Crime in a Suit. Stay tuned for next time so you don't miss more topics from competition.